What's really good, ladies and gentlemen? Today, we're going to talk about something. If you've seen the video we posted this week, we talked about 5 mistakes you may be making that's costing you to lose clients. You're losing people. We're going to talk about that. First, we're going to roll this intro in the pot. You may want to sit tight for this one. I'm going to punch you in the throat quick, and then I'm going to dip. All right, let's go. Let's do it.
You're listening to Content and Cash, a FlashFilm Academy podcast. If you want to learn how to take pretty pictures, this is not the place. But if you're ready to make a living by learning the business behind the camera, buckle up, because it's time to turn passion into profit with your host, Ty Turner.
What's really good, ladies and gentlemen? Today, we're going to talk about something special, something you need to know. If this is your first time on this channel, you got to understand that this channel right here is about getting that bag. It's about understanding the business side of content creation. Other channels teach you how to get all cute, do all kind of fancy stuff with your camera. We show you how to pay for it. That's what we're talking about. Okay, so let me tell you before we get started, I got to make sure before we get started, we're talking about the fact that it's brought to you by the Capture and Convert Kit, free over at FlashFilmAcademy.com. 2 easy payments of free $99. Man, that's 5 courses and 2 ebooks. That's a lot. That's a whole lot of courses for free. Go get it. All right. It's over at FlashFilmAcademy.com. As soon as you land on the webpage, it punch you in the face. So let's talk real quick, real sweet, real quick, fast and sweet. We in and out. So if you got questions, get them ready. But I want to make sure we are in and out today. All right, let's talk about that video. And if you haven't seen it, the video is available on this YouTube channel. And make sure you take a look at it because it talks about 5 things. But I kind of want to reiterate a few things that it talks about. Right, part 2 of that video for the Gold Plus members, they get access to it and it goes into a lot more detail. But I want to kind of run over those 5 things because I think people are missing these things or they don't understand how valuable they are. First things first, number 1 is lack of communication, right? Listen, one of the biggest things that has helped my company grow and help me land more clients and make more clients feel comfortable with working with my brand is communicating. It's communicating what we're going to do, what's going to happen next, and not just saying, here's the proposal, pay me, but communicating what's going to happen once we receive that. So important that you communicate that. So important that you have an itinerary. You look like you have your stuff together. Got to have it together. You got to communicate that to your client. This is what's going to happen next. Let me lay out a game plan as to what's going to happen once you decide to work with us. Clients need to know that. They need to hear it. They need to see it. And remember, we're selling something for a big ticket that's not tangible. And having that itinerary in hand makes it feel tangible. Get it? Got it? Good. What's going on, fellas? Number 2, let's talk about deadlines. Deadlines are extremely important, especially when you are B2B. B2C, people are cool. They cool with deadlines. They can drag their feet and, get to it when they get to it. Businesses don't work like that. Your ability to make deadlines makes you more valuable. Makes you more valuable. In fact, I like to find out what those deadlines are in advance to show my client how important it is for us to meet your deadlines. We don't play because a company will rock with you more because you meet deadlines than because your quality is great. Don't matter if your quality is great if it's late. A 3-pointer after the buzzer is a practice shot. So you want to make sure that you are, respectful to people's deadlines. All right, let's go to number 3. And this is something a lot of people do. They overpromise and they underdeliver. Happens way too often, fam. Way too often. A lot of people are using content in their portfolio that they didn't really shoot, that they were on set getting coffee and the people on set were shooting with Reds and Alexas, and you have that on your portfolio and you're trying to convince the client, or you have convinced the client that this is what you do, and they get your work back and it's not the same. Every content creator in their mind think that they can look at a movie, a picture, a clip, and say, I can shoot that. I can reproduce that. I can do that, until they have to. And things are different. Then you get punched in the throat realizing that your lighting game ain't what you thought it was, that your audio game ain't what you thought it was, that your color grading game ain't what you thought it was. That clip that you're trying to replicate had a team of 10 people who job it was to focus on making sure those 10 things stand out. And you're trying to do it by yourself, and you're not on that level by yourself. And if companies felt like one person can get on that level, they wouldn't hire a team. Professional still requires a team. So often people overpromise and they underdeliver, where they should be underpromising and overdeliver. Let me tell you something that I really get this from, right? Anybody that lives near, let me tell you what companies are really good at this. Donuts. Right? Not the Krispy Kremes, not the name brands, but if you got an off-brand mom and pop shop donut place around you, I don't know if it's just here in Texas or where I'm from or where I've been. Whenever you buy donuts, they add a few more in. They add a few more donut holes in. It's more than what you paid for, but it makes you want to work with them every single time. It don't cost them nothing. It's 3 cents worth of extra donuts they're adding to your dozen. But they underpromise and they overdeliver, and I always feel like I'm leaving with value. I always feel like I left with more than I paid for. In fact, I feel like I got over on people. I feel bad. I make sure that when I want donuts again, I go back to that same spot because they gave me more than I asked for. And even though as a business owner, sometimes I think, well, will people just buy less from me knowing I'm going to give them more? No. When I go back, I buy exactly what I buy every time. And sometimes they hook me up, sometimes they don't. But a lot of people overpromise and underdeliver when they should be doing the opposite. I think a lot of business owners in this industry don't truly understand the idea or concept of value. They don't understand the concept of value. Anything that you can roll out of bed and go into business and do, most people without business training don't understand the concept of value. They don't understand how they can offer value to their client in ways other than price. And if price is your only way to offer value, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. If you think that you can beat somebody else's price and you're willing to beat somebody else's price, you're not going to make it. Less profit is not the answer. More value is the answer. So if you don't understand how to offer more value, you will always be the cheap guy. You'll never have enough money to expand, to buy new gear, to rent a place, to get a van, to get shirts. If you're having a problem doing that, if you go shoot a shoot and you're having a problem buying the things that your company needs from that shoot and paying your bills and paying your people a proper wage, it's because you don't understand value. You should easily have the ability to get booked on a shoot, pay the people a good fare so they want to work with you, pay for any equipment that you need afterwards, and pay your bills. If you can't do that, it's because you don't understand value. And you think, I'm just going to do it cheaper to get the job, and it's costing you money. So a lot of people who wake up and decide, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to do, they don't understand value. So you know what? By understanding value, I can beat those guys every time. And I can make the client feel comfortable spending more money than they would have spent with you because you look like the cheap guy. They can hear it in your voice. You're desperate. They can smell it. You look like the cheap guy. You don't make enough money. You don't make enough money to have the ability to invest back in your brand. And they can tell. And when you can't invest in your brand, you can't offer value, because a part of offering value is your look and your appearance and the way you present yourself. A lot of people don't understand that. They ain't hearing me. A lot of people ain't hearing me. So you have to invest in your brand. Let's go to the next one. Number 4 is a lot of people neglect the personal touch. A lot of people neglect the idea of a personal touch. Every brand around you has a personal touch. Now, it's a part of their systems and processes. You go to Starbucks, they say your name. Hey, what's your name? We're going to write it on your coffee so we can call you. And they call out your name. Every brand finds a way to add a little personal touch. And you should have personal touch in your systems and processes, right? That's why we use project managers here at FlashFilm Media to work with our clients. But we're going to say that. We're going to say the rest of that. The gold members know what's up. The gold members know what's up. I'll just say that. We go into a lot of that on the Gold Plus side of things, where we help them understand the importance of brand and what it do for you. But we'll say that for another day. And that personal touch, we got ways we do it. Having a project manager is one of them. Having somebody that is personally responsible for the success of your project, client, Mr. Client, is how we do it. But we'll talk about that on the inside. Last but not least, very important, very, very important. A lot of people ignore feedback, or they're afraid to ask for it. If you have a client that you work with and you delivered a video to them and you didn't hear back from that client, I got bad news for you. That video wasn't all that. They didn't like it. They wasn't crazy about it. If they didn't tell you, they wasn't crazy about it. They wasn't crazy about it. Sorry, not sorry. If you delivered a video or images to a client and you didn't hear back from that client, other than a thanks, they wasn't that happy about the content that you provided. You should be asking questions. You should be trying to create repeat clients. You should be finding out how you can be better. If you just delivered something and you done, it wasn't all that, fam. If they didn't receive that content and look at it and immediately tell you about other ideas they had, perfect, I got it. These are nice. I also want to. They're not happy with your work. They're okay with it, but they're not happy with it. You need to figure out what you need to do to make them happy with your work. You need to ask those questions. You need to take that punch in the face. You got to. It's the only way you're going to grow your business and get better at what you do, is by getting feedback from the people who buy from you. Don't come ask me. Don't jump in my DMs asking me how to get better. When you had clients that are in front of you, you should be asking them. They know better than I know about that niche and what they need. You can't get help from other people. You need to ask the people you're afraid of. That's how you grow when it comes to working with your clients. Don't ask other people. Don't ask other photographers. Why? You have the golden goose in front of you. You have the person that can help you go from 0 to 100 right in front of you. Why wouldn't you ask them? Oh, because you're afraid to ask them. Because you don't want to ruffle any feathers. You don't want to get your feelings hurt. I hear you. You got to get your feelings hurt to make it. So those are 5 things that I think is very important that a lot of guys aren't thinking about. They're the reason you may have lost clients. Let's be real. I see a lot of standard, regular beginners lose clients because of that. And they're oblivious as to why. So let me go over those real quick. Lack of communication, missing deadlines, overpromising and underdelivering, neglecting a personal touch, and ignoring feedback. I see it happen so much because we're so worried about the money we're making or the gear we're using that we don't think about the customer service portion of our business. We're so busy trying to get the price out. We're so busy trying to make sure that we're using gimbals and stabilizers and all kind of stuff like that. We're so busy worried about having lens protectors and, nano cloths and all that other stuff that we forget that we should be smiling and shaking the hand and looking directly in the eye of our client. We should be finding ways to reassure them about their project so that we become reassuringly expensive. That's the goal. And that's what we do here at FlashFilm Academy. Hey, I told you it's going to be simple and sweet, in and out. That's what we're about this week. Getting to the point, punching you in the throat. If you got questions, post them in the comments. If you're not a gold member, go ahead, consider joining. Being a gold member, we have deep dives and conversations about this all the time. Let me say this also, real quick before I go. Because when it comes to overpromising and underdelivering, remember I told you want to kind of stick with itinerary, right? You know what else I like to put on my itinerary? My contracts. All in my proposal. Itinerary, contract, everything. You need to have all of that together. If you don't have it together, you're not looking good. Let me just break this down for you real quick while I got that on the screen. If you submit a proposal and it's just pricing, and I submit a proposal and it has pricing, it has the scope of work, it has the itinerary, it has the contracts, it has their ability to sign right then and there, who gonna get the job? And I'm $300, $400, $500 more than you. I'm gonna get the job every single time. Because businesses work on logic. People buy off emotions. So logically, it makes more sense to go with a company that have their stuff together and not a company that's just submitting the bill. Now you know, no one's half the battle. All right, guys. Hey, in and out real quick. I'll see you guys next week. Same time, same channel.
You've been listening to Content and Cash, a FlashFilm Academy podcast. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and go to our webpage at www.flashfilmacademy.com.